Credit card delinquencies are increasing, and energy bills are expected to rise this summer. Today, I read an article on MSN.com written by Cora Lewis titled, "Credit card delinquencies are rising. Here's what to do if you're at risk." According to the author, seriously overdue credit card debt is at the highest level in more than a decade, and people 35 and under are struggling more than any other age groups to pay their bills. The author went on to say, the share of credit card debt that's severely delinquent, defined as being more than 90 days overdue, rose to 10.7% during the first quarter of 2024, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. A year ago, just 8.2% of credit card debt was severely delinquent. Here are my thoughts. I'm not surprised to hear about this, but it troubles me nonetheless. Many Americans haven't seen their wages keep pace with inflation, and they are relying on credit cards to survive. This is happening at the worst possible time because interest rates on credit cards are sky high. This debt can become unmanageable very quickly as it balloons. While we hear our economy is booming, many everyday Americans are struggling financially. Some are able to maintain their current lifestyle, but they are using credit cards in order to do this. This may not be sustainable long term. The tide is starting to change based on everything that I read each day. Retailers and restaurants are experiencing a slowdown. Some are transitioning to value items in an attempt to bring in customers. Today, I drove through a car lot, and for the first time in years, I saw a brand new Toyota with a bright red marked down sign hanging from the rearview mirror. In recent years, dealers were selling new cars for thousands of dollars over MSRP. Some luxury brands were selling highly desirable vehicles for tens of thousands of dollars over MSRP. That's just crazy to me because luxury cars depreciate very quickly. A $100,000 Mercedes is only worth a fraction of that a few years down the road. Some people think they are getting a bargain saving on all that depreciation until they have to pay for repair bills that are astronomical. Some unlucky people could quickly find themselves in credit card debt by surprise vehicle repair bills. Modern cars and trucks are not cheap to fix. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I looked at a 2025 Toyota Camry XSE recently, and the dealer asked if I wanted to buy it. I had zero interest in buying that car because it had a panoramic sunroof. A Toyota Nation user got a $12,000 quote from a dealership to replace his because it couldn't be repaired. Another user needed to get a shade replaced on his panoramic sunroof, and he got a $2,000 quote for that job. I'm way too frugal to want a panoramic sunroof. Think about the poor souls who buy one of these cars and have a huge monthly payment. Someone like this who is living paycheck to paycheck is not ready for a $12,000 repair bill. This is an extreme example, but even repairs for minor problems on a modern car could result in someone going into credit card debt. For those who live in a city that don't own a car, expensive medical bills could also result in someone going into credit card debt. Much like vehicle repair bills, medical bills are shockingly high at times. I'm curious if any of you know people who have received high repair bills or high medical bills that they had to put on a credit card. If so, tell me about it in the comment section below. There are other types of bills that could end up on credit cards. I read an article on foxbusiness.com written by Aislinn Murphy titled, "Energy Bills Expected to Rise as Summer Temps Climb." According to the author, Americans across the country may face higher costs to beat the heat this summer, and according to a new forecast, those energy bills will climb nearly 8% compared to last year. The author referenced the NEADA, the Center for Energy Poverty, and the CEPC. Apparently, Americans will have to fork over an average of $719 from June through September to cover energy bills. Last year, U.S. cooling bills averaged $661 over the summer months. Here are my thoughts. This could put even more financial strain on American households that are already struggling with high inflation and high levels of interest for debt. For people in extremely hot climates, life can be miserable without air conditioning. There's another thing that people who are stretched financially need to worry about. If they own a home and their AC system fails, the cost to repair it could be very high. Some people don't realize their home has an older R22 Freon system, and many shops no longer have access to parts or that type of Freon. Because of this, more and more AC systems may need to be completely replaced with an R410A system. In the near future, R410A is going to be phased out and replaced with A2L refrigerant systems. HVAC system replacement is never cheap. Many companies offer financing programs because consumers often don't have an emergency fund to cover the cost. Contractors that I know tell me that a lot of customers don't qualify for that financing. People who live in nice homes often are stretched to the max financially. While people think they are doing well, it's often just a facade. Some can't even afford to cover the cost of replacing an HVAC system, and some can't even qualify for financing. It reminds me of a story my friend told me about. A woman's dog needed emergency surgery. She rolled into the veterinary clinic in a newer luxury vehicle, and she had a designer purse, designer clothes, and fancy fingernails. But she said she couldn't afford to pay for the dog's surgery. The clinic asked if she wanted to put it on a credit card, but apparently she only had a small amount left on the credit card before reaching her limit, so that wouldn't work either. The friend who told me this story told me that the dog shelter near him is at capacity because so many people can no longer afford the dogs that they acquired in the past few years. It's truly sad what is happening behind the scenes. In my opinion, things like this paint a completely different picture about the economy compared to what we hear in the mainstream media and from some politicians. Yes, some Americans are doing better than ever financially, but there are others who are up to their eyeballs in debt and doing their best to keep it all together. I continue to worry about what is going to happen if we enter an ugly recession and unemployment ticks up, or if we see a sizable correction in markets that result in companies laying off human capital. What do you think about all of this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.